Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Champlin Ice Forum for CTN's live coverage of girls high school hockey. It's down to the end of the season, and we have a huge matchup between two section opponents. The Blaine Bengals come in to take on the Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds. Joe Yund here to bring you the action tonight, and this is a game that could very well determine the number 2 seed in the section. The tournament just over a week away. Maple Grove pretty much a lock to be the number 1 seed. These two teams just a half a game apart, with Champlin Park Coon Rapids having one more win. But on the Blaine side, 8 losses, 3 of them to number 1 Andover, another one to number 2 Edina. They've also lost to Maple Grove, currently sitting number 5 in the state. They're a team that coming in, Coach Steve Geider says their biggest problem has been themselves and their lack of consistency. And if they can keep things together for 3 straight periods, they can be a very formidable hockey team. On the flip side, Champlin Park Coon Rapids coming in hot. They've been winning of late. They got a big win over Centennial over the weekend, and they hope to finish strong because they have Blaine tonight, and then Rogers on Saturday. Rogers is also in the mix for that number 2 seed in the section. Rogers also the team that has knocked the Bluebirds out of the section tournament the past 2 seasons. And then they finish with a makeup game next Wednesday against the Blake Bears, who are currently also ranked in the top 5 or 6 in the state of Minnesota. For the Blaine Bengals, they have a lot of girls who can bring it and get it to the net. They've got a number of senior leaders and also a number of young players that are really adding to their firepower offensively. Danny Burnett, just a sophomore, 21 points on the season, 1 point behind Britton Fussy, the team's senior leading scorer. For Champlin Park Coon Rapids, their depth is really a big part of what they hope will help them overcome the Blaine Bengals. Coach Colt has said, we know that their top line is very good, but we feel we've got a little bit more depth. Tonight, they need those depth players to step up and add both offensive and defensively. Anna Bezcalo, a senior, plays right wing on that second line, 16 points on the season, and she's looking to finish her high school career strong. This is a team with a lot of girls that have been on the program, been on the team the last couple of seasons, and have come up short in the section, much shorter than they had hoped to. This year, they're hoping to turn those tides. It really starts. Section tournament isn't for another week and a half, but it really starts tonight. These next 2 games, critical for their placement in the section tournament standings. We will take a break, and we will be back with the puck drop between the Bluebirds and the Bengals after this on CTN. Nice hands, drives and scores.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Big huddle before the big game. A lot on the line with the season coming to a close in just over a week, the regular season. Both teams have definitely been tested. Both have played Andover, as I mentioned. Blaine has played them 3 times, as well as Edina and Maple Grove. Champlin Park Coon Rapids also playing Andover and Maple Grove, and we'll get Blake next week to finish the regular season schedule. Look at the goaltenders. Haley Hansen, just a freshman, but has quickly become a big part of this Blaine team. And talking to Coach Coltis before the game, he said she is absolutely outstanding, and we have to find a way to get some pucks behind her. Elia Johnson on the other end, the senior starter for the Cardinals, has started all but 1 game this season. Had one of her best games of her career on Saturday against Centennial, helping the Bluebirds to a 3-1 win. And we are underway. Bengals working it up the left wing. Fussy dumps it in. First one there is Abby Peterson for the Bluebirds. Center's been nobody there. Bengals turn it around quickly at the red line. Right back in comes Fussy. Centering pass broken up by Ness. Ness able to backhand it back out to center. Kept out of the zone. Tied up along the boards. Comes loose to Bleasy. Her pass skipped away from Abby Peterson. Peterson chases it back in her own end. Fires it around near side. Out of the reach of Terabeza and back out of the zone. Bengals trying to turn it around. Terabeza creating some trouble there. Centering pass taken away by Ness. She'll put a shot on, and Hansen will glove it and hold for a face-off in the Bengals zone. Steve Geider behind the bench for the Blaine Bengals. Great guy. Always enjoy talking with him before or after or surrounding hockey. Been very helpful to us over the years covering contests with his team. Tie up along the near boards, 4 bodies in there, poked free finally by the Bengals. And coming out to center is Danny Burnett trying to center. That's broken up and turned back out. Vizcaylo gets it ahead for Del Castillo, and Del Castillo carries it. Tied up quickly by the Bengals, and the Blaine back on the attack the other way. Britton Funcy chases it down, drops it off to Sandberg. Tried to walk out front, had it taken away, and Vizcaylo will flip it off the glass out to center. Scooped up by Del Castillo and moved along. And again, quickly a turnaround. Brooke Nowicki gets it ahead. A shot by Fussy, or by Bleasy, rather, misses wide. Poked out of the zone on the far side by Champlin Park Coon Rapids. And the Bengals send it right back in. Played behind by Bolander. Recovered by McClellan, who circles away from pressure and does so again. Plays it hard around. Therefore, it is Ness, and Ness will turn up ice. Poked off her stick. Played back out to the center by McClellan. This is Delaney Johnson flipping it in on the backhand. Terabeza gives chase. Nowicki gets there first. And the Bengals quickly breaking the puck out. That pass didn't quite click, but it was touched, so icing waved off. Peterson gets there, plays it back behind the net. Kylie Scott will get it right back to her. Peterson ahead off of Terabeza, out of the reach of Johnson. Turned around. Peterson kicks it back into the Bengals zone, and they'll regroup in front of the keeper, Hansen. Pass again just out of the reach of Bouch. Tracked down in the corner by Jansen. Poked away from her. Scramble, puck loose. Peterson does a nice job of tying up the Bengal player up front and gives her teammates a chance to clear. Kylie Scott skating to center, flips it off the board into the Blaine end. Bengals trying to flip it right back out. Jammed right inside the blue line. Poked free by Tyson and back down below the net. Fanula there to pressure, turning away is Stumo. Back into the near corner for Bouch. Another centering pass. It's just out of the reach of the intended target, but it does get Bengals to center, and it's played in deep by Kenzie Sinner. Peterson behind her own net, looks ahead. That pass is taken away right at the blue line and played back in by Fussy. Champlin Park Coon Rapids able to turn it back out of the reach of Brooke Johnson. And here come the Bengals again. With speed around the corner, Jansen behind the net, trying to center all the way out to the point. This shot through traffic, turned away by Johnson. Behind the net is Danny Burnett. Had it poked off her stick and now tied up in the corner with Kylie Scott. Puck comes free, played to the point, but kept in there. Scott with it behind the net, tried to reverse, nobody there but Fussy. Burnett's pass just out of the reach. Caitlin Ron walking in, her shot was blocked. Recovered and played back to Danny Burnett. Burnett gets around the reach of Del Castillo, tied up again by Scott. Puck came loose. Brooke Johnson can't force it up the boards to get it out. Scott will fire it off the glass all the way down, and icing waved up. And the microphone is back as Johnson holds on for another faceoff. As long as the video continues, that's probably the best part of the broadcast so far. The 5 minutes of silence. Long shot through traffic off the pad of Johnson. Bengals pressuring behind the Champlin Park Coon Rapids net. Breakout pass is deflected up, but gets out to center, and now with Blaine Johnson, she'll shoot. That's off the shin pad and into the far corner. Turning with it is Anderle, and the Bengals get it to center again. Tara Beza sends it right back in. Hansen will leave it there for the turn by Stumo. Stumo cross ice. That pass behind Singh and turned around by Bolander. Bolander gets it back, and that one into the bench. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. 11:03 remaining in the opening period. Coach Coltis, the only coach for the Bluebirds in their 3 seasons of this cooperative, and also enjoy working with him a great deal. Nice chat before the game. And he said he's pretty jacked up about today's game, and he said the girls are even more excited to get this one up because they all know how important it is to their seedings for the section tournament. Scott steps up, will throw that one in on Hansen, turn to the corner with her stick. Holly Johnson, first one there, back to Scott. Scott, snapshot, that misses wide, ends up off the backhand board. As Kalo sends it back in deep. Jane Herr trying to bring it out front. She's tied up along the back of the net. And the Bengals able to get it out to center. Another pass is just out of the reach of the intended target, Cameron Singh. That one picked up. Britton Fussy walking in, gets to her forehand, drop pass. And it goes right back to Champlin Park Coon Rapids. Molly Terabeza, or Annabeth Calo rather, through center. Shot going wide, but Hansen will get a glove on it and hold on for the faceoff. Off the face-off into the corner. Bengals will break it out to the far side. Sandberg trying to get it ahead. That was broken up. Bolander turns it back in for the Bluebirds. First one there is Dean. Tried to reverse up the far boards. That was broken up. Scooped up by Fussy, but again stolen by the Bluebirds and now played all the way down by Kayla Stumo. Not enough on it as McClellan gets there well in front of the icing line. For Ness backhanding it along. Terabeza had to come back for it. Nearly had it knocked off her stick by Kayla Beasy. Tie up along the near boards. Delaney Johnson battling with Stumo. Stumo comes away with it for the Bengals. Back into the corner. Delaney Johnson bumped. Tying up. Terabeza tries to dig it free for the Bluebirds. Terabeza trying to get it down low to Delaney Johnson, trying to center. She's ridden off it by Dean. Centering attempt again is taken away by Burnett. Long pass, kicked ahead, and into the zone comes Jansen. Sandberg, bumped off of it. The Bengals able to maintain control. Now broken up. Terabeza just going to fire it all the way down, get the icing, get some fresh legs on the ice. Bengals with the early lead in time of possession have been getting a few more looks at the Bluebirds' net, but nothing terribly dangerous as of yet for either team. Puck fired around behind. Kylie Scott gets there for the Bluebirds, trying to play it up the boards, kept in by Ron. Tied up and finally forced out to center. Gleasy moves it back in the Bengals' direction, and we're going to see our first penalty. It's going to be Holly Johnson as she knocked Brielle Fussy to the ice, and Blaine will have the power play. Tied up in the corner. Delaney Johnson able to dig it free, and she will skate with it through center. Fire long distance, guided back off the end boards by Hansen. Champlin Park, Coon Rapids trying to pressure shorthanded. Johnson lost her stick, and that gives the Bengals a chance on the rush with numbers. Britton Fussy waits, though, and that allows Johnson to get back into the play as they set up on the power play. Britton Fussy back out to the point for Ron. Back to Fussy, had it knocked off her stick. And now poked out to center. Kylie Scott flips it in on goal, and Hansen will be forced to cover up. Not quite midway through this power play for the Bengals. Another look at it. Not a lot on that shot, but it made the goalie work. Off the face-off, Bleasy plays it up the near board. Cross-ice pass skips away from Sandberg and sent back all the way down by Bolander. Bleasy behind her own net. Long pass. Brielle Fussy back to Sandberg into the zone. She'll take the shot, gloved and held by Elijah Johnson. Sandberg circles towards the board, head up, looking to pass, leaves it off, short angle shot, and into the trapper of Johnson again. Face-off won again by the Bengals, played down low. Bolander battling. Loose puck. Played to the line, but kept in there by Bleasy. Sandberg tries to center, misses the target. Shot then blocked by Bolander off the stick of Macy Jansen. Within the corners, Brielle Fussy. She's bothered and bugged, but able to work it up the boards. And now Tyson able to force it all the way down for CPCR. And she gives chase to put a little pressure on. Final 5 of this advantage. Just one shot on the power play for the Bengals. And this one dumped right back in as Holly Johnson is released from captivity. Cross ice pass just out of the reach of Jansen, but she's able to dump it in, get a line change. Scott from behind her own net, hard off the boards. That's intercepted. She's there to poke it free again. Ness plays it to the line, but kept in. A shot through traffic. Jumped on by Elia Johnson. And we'll have another face-off. 5:20 left in the opening period. Danny Burnett behind the Bluebirds net, centered and missed target again, but they had Britton Fussy alone in the slot, and it was just out of her reach. They are able to get it right back in the zone, however. Peterson's pass out of the reach of Tara Beza, kept in at the blue line by Ron. Shot was deflected. Delaney Johnson recovers and skates to center. Snapshot, easy glove save for Haley Hansen, and we'll have a face-off back at the Blaine end. No really grade A scoring chances on either end of the ice. And that one a pretty easy save for Haley Hansen. Behind the net is Sandberg. And here's Danny Burnett skating to center. Burnett forced into the corner, gets away from the poke check by McClellan. Looking to pass, will take the shot. That's deflected and kind of trickles in on Johnson, and she'll scoop it up for another faceoff. See, that's good heads-up play. Not many other opportunities for Burnett. Puts it on goal, hoping to create a rebound, but no such luck. McClellan plays it off the glass, but it's held in at the line. Champlin Park Coon Rapids finally able to force it out to center. Stumo plays it across. This is Bouch. Had it knocked off her stick as she tried to get into the slot. Played off the boards by Stumo. Back in. Bolander right back out. Kicked free. And Biscaylo gets it ahead to Del Castillo. Her shot deflected and ends up high and wide. Tied up along the near boards. Forced back in deep by Biscaylo. Bengals trying to break out on the other side. Bouch will poke it back, and the pass ahead. Stopped up by Biscaylo and sent in deep. Del Castillo is tied up behind the net. Jaden Herr in there to help as she goes down in a heap with Izzy Burnett. Coming away with it are the Bluebirds. A shot by Bolander misses wide. Unable to keep it in at the line is McClellan. Both defenders stepping up, but the Bengals not able to get it clean past them. And now with the player down inside the zone, they have to retreat before entering. Long pass ahead. Knocked back to Abby Peterson. Her pass out of the reach of her. Bengals at their own blue line. Force it through center, and it's turned right back around by Peterson again, and her will send it in deep. Hansen behind her own net. Off the boards for Anderle, and the Bengals exit quickly. That one hit the official trying to get out of the way along the Bengal bench. Bengals Bengals will try the near side. No luck there either, as it was stopped up by Kyler Shack. Caitlin Ron stepping up. Carries into the zone, finds some room. Kick save by Elia Johnson. Again, played up the boards, but held by the Bengals. Sent back in deep by Ron. Scott behind her own net, hassled by Anderle. Plays it up the near board. Shack moves it along, kept in again by Ron. Down low for Fussy. Brielle Fussy turns away from Peterson, plays it back to the line. That shot wide and deflected in behind the net. Britton Fussy trying to pressure, kept in by a nice step up by Tess Enlow. Scott will fire it back out to center. Recovering in her own end is Caitlin Ron. Passing through center, and it's broken up by Abby Ness as she bumps Shelby Sandberg. Bluebirds able to play it back out to center and into the Bengal end. Now trying to regain control. Delaney Johnson down low, centering it just out of the reach of Tara Beza. Bluebirds trying to get new defenders on, and with speed the other way was Sandberg. Her shot deflected up and over as we're under a minute remaining here in the opening period. Delaney Johnson will flip it past and give chase down behind. Trying to center. Here's Holly Johnson, a backhand that misses wide as she was being tied up by the Bengal defender. Kept in by Bolander. Britton Fussy's pass broken up. Bolander sends it back in. Down to under 15 seconds remaining. Back out at center. Bolander heaves it up into the stands on the backhand. We'll have a face-off at center ice. 8.9 remaining in the opening period. Brooke Del Castillo will dump it in on the backhand, and that'll do it for period number one. Relatively uneventful. Bengals with a slim 7-5 edge in shots on goal. Nobody able to beat the keeper, and we're scoreless going to the second. We'll take a break, come back with some first period stats and highlights after this. You're watching live girls high school hockey on CTN. At the Forum, no score between the Bluebirds and the Bengals after 17 minutes, and really not much activity. Blaine a slight advantage in zone time over the Bluebirds, but really haven't been able to do anything with that added possession. Kept pretty much to the perimeter. Neither team generating any really legitimate scoring chances in the opening period. Almost everything that Champlin Park Coon Rapids put toward Healy Hansen was from a long way out and didn't have a lot on it. Never testing the freshman keeper for the Bengals. So it's still 2 periods to go, 34 minutes. And again, they determine who is the number 2 seed in the section tournament in a little more than a week. And you see the shots that Hansen saw from a long way out A little more traffic in front of Elia Johnson when she's had to make saves, but not really doing a lot to get good, close opportunities from what you would call grade A scoring zones of the ice. And through the first period, it's a 7-5 lead in shots on goal for the Blaine Bengals. They had the one power play, but were not able to do anything with it. Just one shot on goal during that 2-minute advantage. Other than that, skated dead even. It could be a funny one that breaks it out, or will one of these teams come out with a little extra jump in their step for the second period? We'll find out when we return. Second period is coming your way next on CTN.
Like right now?
Oh, God.
Look at our hair.
Cardinal fans on their feet. And Red.
Look at Red.
Fan, of course, in attendance.
Hello and welcome to Inside Access, your ticket behind the scenes of Coon Rapids Sports. Theo and Howie, it feels great to be back behind the desk.
I can't think of too many things better in life. How about you?
I can think of one. Because it's an all-out
it's
sprint
what
to the
was it?
finish.
Okay. Kind of like your life.
They host Elk River on Tuesday, and Howie,
We'll be there.
That's
There you go. It's contagious.
like it's all your fault.
Yeah, of course it is.
Sports Night, I'm Joe Young.
I'm Joe Young as well. And I'm not so sure how good we'll look on HD, but you know.
I appreciate the effort.
I try.
I do.
I love that. I want that.
Yeah, that needs to be posted on
Yeah.
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Outdoor ice is busy, and inside we've got a tight one. Two teams battling for what could determine the second spot in the section tournament. And no score through the first. Bengals force it in deep. Scott plays it off the glass out to center, and it's sent right back in. McClellan will reverse up the near boards. Held by Ron. Down low, centering pass deflected up and over off the stick of Brielle Fussy. To the high slot, and it was tipped away from Anderle at the last second. Recovering out at center is Ron. Back to Anderle. Handcuffed her a little bit, and the Bluebirds able to send it back the other direction. Ron off the boards, out to center. Scooped up there by Kayla Blessy. She fires it to the far corner. Poked at by Brielle Fussy, but recovered by Scott. Scott skates through a stick check and gets it all the way into the Bengal end. Trying to drop it off. That was intercepted. Held at the line by Delaney Johnson. Johnson trying to step out front. It got away from her, and Stumo will get it ahead for Shelby Sandberg, who dumps it deep. McClellan behind her own net, tied up by Britton Fussy. Sandberg, pass was a little bit behind Burnett. And skating hard through center is Kelly Bolander. Bolander is shot, and that one's saved and held by Hansen, and that's probably the most difficult save she's had to make this evening. Wasn't quite sure where that one went initially. Might have been deflected a little bit by the stick of Stumo. No clean win on the face-off, but that one's sent all the way down. That'll be icing. We'll try it again. Britton Fussy for the Bengals. Brooke Del Castillo for the Bluebirds. Set to face off to the left of Bengal goalie Haley Hansen. Tied up off the draw. Puck played back behind. Pressure comes from Jaden Herr. It's played around to the point, but kept in there by Bolander. All the way around to the other side. Burnett drops it back off. Pass ahead. Skips off the skate of Fussy all the way down. And that'll be icing again. We'll go for another face-off in the Bengal end. And a little bit of a win there for Coach Coltis and the Bluebirds. That top line for the Bengals is out there, stuck in their own zone and forced to ice the puck a couple of times. And now his top line gets out there with an offensive faceoff, but it's won by the Bengals. Maddie Anderle stepping away from the near board, plays it ahead for Bleasy. Bleasy centering. That one skipped off the stick of Brielle Fussy. And Fussy gets it back after a tie-up just inside the Bengals zone. Peterson trying to tie up Fussy along the boards. Into assist is Delaney Johnson. She tries to kick it free, but it's taken back by Bleasy. Played out to the line. Shot through traffic, hit traffic, and we're going to see another penalty. And again, it's going to be against Coon Rapids, so Bengals to go back on the power play here early in the second period. Pretty easy to see that one right in the high slot area as Kennedy Bolander knocked the Bengal player to the ice just as the puck was coming. Bengals win the draw, play it across. One-time shot deflected up and over the net. Britton Fussy on the far boards, down low. Spinning with it is Anderle. Anderle back out to the point. Played right back down to her in the corner. Fussy along the boards. Down low, Anderle wanted to pass it back to her on the give and go, but the pass was taken away. Out to the point, Ron will play it right back for Burnett, who circles. She'll shoot. That hit traffic and bounced back to Bleasy. Bleasy's pass taken away and played the length of the ice by Erica Tyson. Bleasy behind her own net. To Ron, that pass tipped along by Burnett, and into the zone comes Maddie Anderle. Drops off for Burnett, circles towards the boards, trying to play it back out to Ron. It was intercepted again and played all the way down. Out to play it is Hanson. Got it to Bleasy, and this one tipped along. Britton Fussy into the zone. Fussy stops up along, leaves it off for Burnett. Burnett stops up in the corner and skates back up toward the top of the circle. Bump there by Delaney Johnson. Goes to the ice. That shot hit traffic. A turnaround shot didn't make it through. Chance from in close, and that one, I'm not sure that got through, but they do give him a shot on goal. So it was the pads of Johnson that ended up making the stop. And here's Blaine going to get a penalty, and this is a frustration penalty on Burnett. Plays the body in the corner, still illegal in the girls' game. Face-off coming back into the Bengal end. 13 seconds of 4-on-4, and then Champlin Park Coon Rapids will have their first power play. Tie-up off the drop. Loose puck collected by Brielle Fussy, and then tried to play a little give and go with Britton Fussy, but pass didn't click. Champlin Park Coon Rapids able to get it back in the zone as the penalty to Bolander expires. They are on the power play. Abby Peterson back to collect in her own end. Long pass ahead for Bolander at center. Bolander can't get it in deep. Fanned on the clear attempt the other way, and stepping up is Kylie Scott, staying out of the reach of Brielle Fussy. Played it down low. The Bengals able to clear the zone again. Abby Peterson circling at her own blue line. To Scott. She will dump it in. Hanson out to stop it up behind the net. Bolander pressuring. First one there, Britton Fussy to the loose puck on the near side. And that one nearly sprung Bleasy, and then this cleared to the boards, but Bleasy the first one there. Bleasy tied up, taken away by Abby Peterson. Peterson ahead for Bolander. Bolander lost the handle, and that'll be offside. 44 seconds left in the Bluebird power play. Holly Johnson will face off against Kayla Bleasy just outside the Bengal blue line. Bluebirds trying to take advantage of their first power play. Dumped in deep. There's Kayla there to tie up with Ron in the corner. Holly Johnson trying to dig it free and does. Johnson plays it across to Kylie Scott. Scott takes the shot. That's blocked. Played back out to the blue line. That shot's deflected up. Dropped down. Circling with it. Opportunity for Delaney Johnson. Just can't get good wood on it. Biscaylo back to Delaney Johnson. Johnson trying to jam it home. Bengals get hold and they throw it the length of the ice, and that will be icing as the penalty to Burnett had just expired. So no shots on the power play. Oh, they will put one up there now. So one shot on the power play for each team. But we still continue to see two teams that are really doing a good job of keeping the other team from getting good looks at their goaltender. Coaches both have to be pretty happy with the defensive effort so far tonight. On the offensive end, a little concerned perhaps that they have not found a way through their opponent's defense and been able to really put much pressure at all on the netminder at the other end. Both of the coaches spoke highly of the opposing netminder and wanting to test said netminder, and they have not been able to do that yet. Almost midway through this second period. Puck kept in at the line by Nowicki. This one bouncing in on Johnson. She'll cover up and get the whistle. And in a game like this, it could be one like that ends up finding its way past the keeper, just bouncing and hopping through traffic, well tracked by Johnson. She was on top of it long enough to get the whistle. He's going to come loose just after. Sandberg out to the point, shot. Save made by Johnson. Rebound to the corner. Bluebirds trying to break out the near boards. Clogged up by the Bengals. Burnett, high slot. Leaves it over. That shot sticked into the corner by Johnson. Bengals starting to buzz a little bit. Sandberg bumped back into the corner. Recovers the puck. Centering pass taken away by Del Castillo and played to the blue line, but not out. And now Bolander able to send it all the way down. And CPCR going to try and get some fresh legs on the ice. Britton Fussy into the zone, pressured by Ness, drops it off. Sent right back in deep by Nowicki. Tied up along the boards. Nowicki holds again momentarily. Cross ice, Terabeza. An opportunity is shot, and the save made by Hansen came well out of her crease to challenge on that shot. Here's an opportunity coming out front, all the way out to Scott. Through traffic and ends up in the far corner. Peterson holds on the far board. Bengals able to regain possession. Britton Fussy circles ahead to Burnett, out to center, and Sandberg will send it in deep. Pushed around by Abby Peterson. Pass ahead was cut off and brought back in by Marie Anderle. Nothing on that shot. Easy save and cover for Elia Johnson. 8:01 to go in period number 2. It's the best scoring opportunities right here for either team. I'm not sure if that got through and got a piece of the netminder or not. But there was a lot of traffic in front. There's one that was deflected, very well tracked by Elijah Johnson, who puts it in her glove. Might have been going wide, but definitely not going to risk letting it go. Way too close, and we've seen a lot more of that in this period by the Bengals trying to get redirections out front, and they have been able to get girls out front in the slot with sticks on the ice that have been able to redirect them, just not near enough to the net. And so far, every chance they've had has been well tracked by Johnson. Tyson from way over by the boards and watched all the way into the glove by Haley Hansen. Off the face-off, Champlin Park Coon Rapids pushes it into the corner. First one there is Del Castillo. She's ridden off it. Britton Fussy comes up with the loose puck, circles a couple of times. Bezcalo able to push it back into the corner. Stumo plays it around, out of the reach of Tess Enlow, and she's able to get it out of the zone. Bluebirds send it right back in. Hansen leaves it there. Stumo plays it around. Danny Burnett circling out of her own corner with speed through center, going wide around McClellan. In tight, stopped by Johnson. Another whistle, another face-off in the Champlin Park end. Fussy against Johnson in the face-off dot to the right of Bluebirds netminder Elijah Johnson. Delaney Johnson able to win the draw. McClellan sends it around behind. Bolander troubled, but able to get to the puck and play it ahead. Out at center, stopped up there by Kendall Dean. Back the other way comes Sandberg, cutting to her forehand. Forced to go very wide and now behind her own net, looking for a pass. Tracked by McClellan. Pass broken up by Delaney Johnson and sent around where Ness can get to it. Ahead for Tara Beza. Skips off her stick deep into the corner. Tries to center. That's off the side of the net. And Coon Rapids Champlin Park going to get another penalty. This is going to be Abby Ness going for the hook. And another chance for the Bengals on the power play. Third power play opportunity for Blaine so far. The last one was abbreviated when they took a penalty of their own. Just one shot on each attempt. I don't know, that's pretty soft. But stick got up, touched hands, and that's the way he called it. Looked like a relatively clean stick lift, but call was made. The shot from a ways out, tracked well, and the save made by Elijah Johnson. Bengals win the draw again. Across, and again, a shot from a ways out. Johnson, an easy save and cover. Dean plays it down to Sandberg, who gets it behind the net and then gets it back from Jansen in the corner. Poked back there, recovered and played back out to the point. Bleasy through traffic, and that one went, I'm not sure if Johnson saw it, if it was deflected, it ended up off the side of the cage. Shot through traffic, fought off, and that is going to be a high stick. And a face-off all the way down, back down at the Bengal end with 1:11 left in the power play. Saw Johnson fighting it off after the deflection by the high stick. Even if it got by her, it wouldn't have counted. Obviously, played with a high stick. Another face-off win by the Bengals. Played out to center. McClellan stops it up. Delaney Johnson will skate into the zone, cut across, a shot that's blocked. Bezcalo trying to get it back to her. Johnson just fires towards the net. It's intercepted by Dean, and Dean will play it for Burnett. Her pass slowed, but got through to Anderle, and then was broken up after. And now stepping up is Bleasy. Drops it off. Burnett, a shot that's well wide. Recovered off the end board by Britton Fussy. Cross ice pass deflected, had to be settled, and then played back down low to Danny Burnett. Burnett, top of the circles, good shot, good save. Right into the glove of Elijah Johnson. So, best scoring opportunities for the Bengals so far this evening coming on this advantage. After getting just one shot on goal in their first two power plays, 4 so far. In this one, 13 seconds remaining as they face it off. Abby Peterson will get back behind the net, play it off the boards all the way down, and that should just about do it to the penalty against Abby Ness. Britton Fussy into the zone, stops up. Her pass into the skates of Anderle, got it back and then flung it wide. Danny Burnett in the corner against Bezcalo, and then taken away by Abby Peterson. Peterson lost it on the back of the net. Will turn and play it back up the far boards. Bezcalo will get there. Bezcalo flips it ahead, and a nice stop by Delaney Johnson to stay onside. Johnson to the top of the circles, a shot, glove save, rebound loose. Bengals trying to clear to the corner, and finally done by Caitlin Ron, and she plays it all the way down, and icing will be the call. Face-off in the Bengal end. 3:28 left in this second period. Still no score between these conference and section rivals. Off the draw. Bengals get possession. Skating to center is Brielle Fussy. Down the wing, a shot kicked away by Johnson. Recovered on the far board by Jansen and played in deep. Del Castillo there for the Bluebirds. Tried to turn back, is broken up. Bleasy centering, taken away by Bolander, and Bolander will sprint through center. Bolander can't get a shot off. Stumo able to play a good stick and deflected in behind. Jaden Herb bumped into, coughed up the puck. Brielle Fussy plays it ahead, and now it's dumped in deep by Jansen. Bolander reverses back to the near side. Chopped to center by Jaden Herb and moved along by Brooke Del Castillo. Tracking it down is Brooke Nowicki. Played it back to the boards and now gets it back and ahead to Britton Fussy, and she just took herself offside as that one hit her in the skates, and she had to reach back to collect. 2:22 to go. Definitely a playoff feeling in this game. The defense has been tight. The chances have been limited. The goaltenders have been strong. And we have no score with 2:22 to go in period 2. Off the draw. Kylie Scott, top of the circles, rising shot, gloved by Hansen. And will face it off to her right. Played around by Nowicki. Bluebirds able to keep it in. Holly Johnson sends it to Peterson, who swings it around. Grace Hanula trying to keep it in deep. Tyson there to help. Holly Johnson over as well. Kylie Scott holds at the blue line, but Britton Fussy will play it ahead. Kicked away by Sandberg, and then turned back toward the red line by Abby Peterson. Bengals regroup. That pass doesn't click, and that is icing. Every faceoff starts to get more important here as we get later in the period and in the contest, and still nobody able to crack the scoreboard. Brielle Fussy skating, looking for a pass. That one clicked the skates of Anderle, but gets it back is Brielle Fussy. Fussy down low, a little backhand. Puck is loose, jammed at, and turned away. Circling is Anderle, plays it down low. Out to the point, through traffic, and the save made. I'm not sure how she tracked it or how she saved it, much less how she secured it, but Elia Johnson able to find it, get on top of it, and get a face-off. 1:09 to play. Another look at it. It doesn't take much. Brielle Fussy getting in there and making the goaltender play the puck and created a little chaos. Champlin Park Coon Rapids able to get it cleared, though, so still no score. Walking in, low angle, and taking it behind. The drop pass is eluded Bolander. That one not played with a high stick, but the save made by Johnson, and she holds on. Looked to me like that one was even higher than the last one he called, as Anderle tried to play it in the slot as it hopped up, but immediately waved off as not being a high stick. Gave her an opportunity on net. In that close, really wasn't able to get much on the bouncing puck, but again, when you get into a game like this, every chance you can to make that goaltender handle the puck, the better. Stumo stops it up at the red line, plays it back into the Bluebirds' end. Britton Fussy able to get it away from Abby Peterson, plays it down low. Sandberg behind the net, out to the point, and didn't have the right angle. Taken away by Jaden Herr. That pass away from Brooke Johnson. Brooke Johnson to the backhand and fanned on it just before the buzzer. And we are going to go to the locker room with a still scoreless game. This one may come down to who gets a bounce in the third period. Champlin Park Coon Rapids 0, Blaine 0. We'll take a break, have second period stats and highlights after this on CTF.
Guys, figuring out who counts in the 2020 census isn't complicated.
Everyone living in your home on April 1st counts.
My aunt and uncle who live with us count.
My best friend who sleeps over every Friday night doesn't count.
My new baby sister, she counts.
My mom's best friend who's been living with us, she counts.
Our dog, Mr. BB, should count, but he doesn't.
Complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
A little more action in the second period, but still no score at the Forum between the Bengals and the Bluebirds. Blaine had a slight edge after the first period, 8-6 in shots, and now that lead a little bit larger, especially picking up with a solid power play late in the second period, but they have not been able to find the answer to Elia Johnson thus far. Champlin Park Coon Rapids a little more effective on the offensive end in that second period as well, helping their shot totals, and and they have had a couple of decent scoring chances, but so far it's really been about defense and goaltending. Both teams doing a nice job of keeping the other at bay, not giving up the good parts of the ice for strong scoring chances. Bengals, as we talked about during that period, starting to deflect more pucks, get more traffic in front of Elia Johnson, try and change the direction of the rubber before it gets to her. But she's tracked it well. She's stayed on top of everything so far. Champlin Park, Coon Rapids, a couple of good opportunities. That one I don't think Haley Hansen ever saw, but I think she got a blocker on it. And just a good, solid contest so far. 22-13, the edge in shots now for the Bengals. And as I mentioned, they really picked it up late in that second period after their last power play, which was their most effective to this point in the game. Still nobody able to find the twine, so we go to the third period with no score. And again, a lot on the line. This is the last week of the regular season, and this one could determine who gets the number 2 seed in the section tournament. We'll drop the puck on period 3 after this. You're watching live girls high school hockey on CTN.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
breathe right into your foot,
your plumber's masseuse,
yes,
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
2 periods have settled nothing between the Bluebirds and the Bengals. We have no score as we enter period number 3. Champlin Park Coon Rapids on the attack. That one floated in behind the net. Terapeza trying to send it out front. It came through the traffic, but fortunately for the Bengals, recovered by Caitlin Ron. Moves it ahead. Here's Burnett with a shot right into the midsection of Elia Johnson. It was Manny Anderle with the shot. Caleb Bleasy to face it off and wins the draw for the Bengals. Ron plays it around behind, just out of the reach of Bleasy behind the net. Shot from the point by Enlow didn't make it through. Delaney Johnson turns it back up ice and on the blocker of Haley Hansen, and she covers up. That shot from a ways out had a little zip to it and a little smile on the face of Haley Hansen. Didn't play that one completely cleanly, but able to cover it up and get the face up. Bluebirds center, and it just fanned attempt on the one-timer by Delaney Johnson. Just handcuffed her in a little bit too close to the skates. Back the other way comes Danny Burnett. Burnett down the left wing, low angle shot off the side of the net. Played around behind by Kylie Scott. Ness ahead, just out of the reach of Terabeza. Turned around by the Bengals. Holly Johnson fresh on the ice. Had it turned around momentarily. And now the Bengals regroup. Danny Burnett through center. Into the zone. Snapshot off the post. And then the rebound played wide. And that one beat the glove hand of Johnson cleanly, but clanged off the iron. Scott off the boards, played out to center by Vizcalo, right back in by Stumo. McClellan will tie up in the far corner with Manny Anderle, and Anderle able to work her way free, gets the puck back out to the point. The shot by Nowicki, deflected out front, bouncing around, ends up behind the net with Anderle. Out front, a shot, and that one was saved and went up and out of play. And the Bengals generating some good opportunities early in this period. I don't think Johnson may have gotten just a little piece of that one, but I think it beat her pretty cleanly. And just right off the crossbar, right where the crossbar and post come together. Bleasy trying to center. It's deflected in on goal. And then a rebound chance by Fussy is saved by Johnson. Bengals started to gain some traction late in the second period. They picked up where they left off here starting the third. And there's a bad pass taken away out front, and it skipped away from Erica Tyson. Bengals quickly regroup. Icing waved off. Bolander first one there, plays it behind for Peterson. Peterson off the glass. Tyson to center, tried to play it across. That was broken up. Sent back into the Bengals zone. Recovering is Bleasy off the boards. Turned around again by Abby Peterson and into the Bengals end. And that will be icing. Speed and intensity is picked up as we have moved through this contest. Blaine and Champlin Park, Coon Rapids both relatively slow in the first period. Things progress through the second, and Bengals definitely buzzing to start here in the third. Both these teams have to know it could be just a bounce that decides the winner here. And so far, early in this third period, it's only the Bengals that are spending time in the offensive zone where a bounce might happen. But here's a long pass. Delaney Johnson trying to center at Terabeza out front. Scott steps up, keeps it in deep. Delaney Johnson had it hop over her stick. Along the end boards, she's able to recover. Skate out to center, turn, avoid a check to the slot. A shot, a rebound. Kicked away, and the Bengals nearly got it out, and now they do. Delaney Johnson circles right back in. Shot just misses wide to the far side. Abby Ness will recover and play it back in. Bengals send it right back out. Stopped up in front of the bench by Del Castillo, who skates in, creating some pressure. Ness trying to knock it free. Terabeza does. Stumo trying to get it out of her own zone. That one misses everybody. That'll be icing. A face-off back in the Blaine end. So after a very quick start for the Bengals here in the third period, Champlin Park, Coon Rapids creating a couple of opportunities over the last minute or two. Tied up in the far corner. Kicked free and played behind. Bengals to break out the near board. Are able to do so. Out at center is Jansen. Sending it in deep. She gives chase. Tied up with Bolander behind the net. Jansen able to control. Turn away and now skate behind on her backhand. Pressured toward the boards. Tied up. In to help is Del Castillo. It's played along by Kenzie Sinner in there as well for the Bengals. Out to center. Knocked off the stick of Biscalo, and Sinner will play it back in deep. Abby Peterson behind her own net. Back pass to Biscalo at center. Deflected into the Bengal end. Tess Enlow will reverse for Jansen. Jansen ahead. Chopped away from Bleasy, and then quickly played back ahead. Out front, a save and a goal. Bleasy right there for the rebound. They just played it in on Johnson, and Bleasy right there to put the rebound home and put the Bengals on the board. Still early in this third period. Created 2-on-1. The shot is saved, but Bleasy is right there. And the Bengal pressure pays off as they take the 1-0 lead. Bluebirds able to win the draw. McClellan stopped up at center. Kick free to Anderle. Anderle ahead to Bleasy. She'll dump it in. Brielle Fussy, first one there, plays it back to the point. Stumo shot blocked by Holly Johnson. Loose puck poked out to center. Tyson troubled, gets it over to Johnson, who sends it in deep. Swept around by Dean. Near side is Fussy. Fussy avoids the pressure from Kyler Shack, gets it out the far side. Delaney Johnson steals it back for the Bluebirds, but then lost the handle right to Britton Fussy. Britton Fussy is shot deflected wide. Sandberg plays it back in deep, chopped at by Delaney Johnson. McClellan recovers. She's pressured there by Brunette. Ness in to break things up. Boxed in by a couple of Bengals, able to poke it free out to the line. Ron will step up. Her shot blocked by Ness. Ness will play it off the boards, back out to center ice. Bengals able to regroup, get it to center. Broken up, but Ron gets it right back. Ron now will skate with it. She lost the handle, poked away by Terabeza. Loose puck comes to Bleasy. Bleasy blasts one off the glass. Bluebirds able to play it back out to center. Delaney Johnson is shot. Stick to the corner by Hanson. Tie up high in the Bluebird zone. Played across by the Bengals. Terabeza will recover off the board. Play it toward the net. That's stopped up and turned away by Nowicki. Peterson down low. Ness out front. Terabeza had her one-time attempt disrupted. Sent back in deep now by Bolander. Out to center. Bolander sends it back in, and that one will be icing. .932 to go here in period number 3. Blaine now with a 1-0 lead. On the rebound goal by Caleb Bleasy, 5:04 of the third period. Off the draw, an opportunity, backhand, a rebound chance just goes wide. And the Bengals play it back out to Stumo at the point. Gets away from her. She's able to send it back in deep. Bleasy recovers. Bleasy out to the point for Stumo. Off the near boards. Fussy trying to poke at it. Peterson there to tie her up. Played back out to the point. Stumo a shot, bouncing around in traffic and swept all the way back out. Icing waved off as Stumo touched it. Bolander able to step up, keep it in the zone. Stumo back in the corner. Send it behind Enlow, tied up. Del Castillo tried to play it out front, now plays it back to the point. Peterson is shot, deflected wide off the stick of Vizcaíno. Centering attempt by Holly Johnson, still trying to get it out front. Played out to the point, Johnson. Off a defender's skate in on Hanson, and she will cover it up. She's seen enough and wants to get some fresh players on the ice. Goaltenders never like it when it's off of a teammate's skate or stick and in on them. But she's able to handle that one, cover it up, and get the whistle. Off the draw, the Bengals on the attack to neutral. Brittany Fussy into the zone, goes wide around Scott. Trying to center, that one didn't click. Delaney Johnson tracking it down for the Bluebirds. Poked off her stick by Burnett. McClellan will skate through center. Tie up, and Delaney Johnson played it in deep before being knocked to the ice. No call, and play continues. Britton Fussy through center. Cuts across to the high slot. That shot was deflected and ended up wide. Burnett bumped there. And taken off the puck by Delaney Johnson. Kylie Scott recovers for the Bluebirds off the board. And Abby Ness to Delaney Johnson into the zone. That shot deflected wide by Ron. Ron takes a spill but gets the puck ahead to Britton Fussy, who lifts it high and all the way down, and that'll be icing. And another faceoff back in the Bengals zone. 7:17 to go in regulation. Britton Fussy against Erica Tyson in a faceoff to the right of the Bengal netminder. Blaine holding the slimmest of leads at 1-0. They have been strong on the faceoff, and they win another. This one to Brielle Fussy. That one was off the skates of Caleb Bleasy. Bleasy able to get it ahead. And got to say, they're going to let him play in a tight game because Erica Tyson, a pretty solid body check on Maddie Anderle just inside the Bengal zone. But what one ref sees as a body check, another sees as a rub. Jaden Herr trying to create pressure. It's picked up by Maddie Anderle, and Anderle skate to the other end. Kicked away by Johnson. Hanula at center will dump it in deep and get a line change. Circling with it is Caitlin Ron. Ron will skate through center into the Bluebird zone. Forced wide, drops it off. Brunetta's shot, that misses wide and rings around, and he'll almost get out. Nice save at the far side blue by Britton Fussy. Abby Peterson able to dig it free. Pass just a little too far ahead of Anna Bezcalo. Turned around but kept in by Peterson. Plays it toward the net. Poked away by Hansen. And here comes Burnett back the other way. Burnett can't get through Del Castillo. Played across by Bezcalo. Holly Johnson will come onto it. Tracked into the corner. Plays it toward the net. Hansen had to get away from her. And the Bengals able to play it back out to center. Kylie Scott will drop it off. McClellan near side for Bezcalo. Cross-ice pass deflected and taken away. Anderle able to get it back into the zone momentarily before the Bluebirds force it back out. Sent back in deep by Burnett. McClellan circles back into the corner. Will play it behind for Kylie Scott. Scott. Long stretch pass attempt was off the mark. Turned around by Enlow. Or Dean, rather. The shot misses wide. Wings around. Terabeza ahead for Delaney Johnson. Johnson behind the net. Had her stick taken off it and sent back out to center. And a foot race to the other end. Peterson. Going to end up getting the penalty for the high stick as she locked up with Bleasy. And that is a penalty that the Bluebirds really couldn't afford to take here late in the contest, down by a goal. Yeah, they're definitely going to call that when you get the stick up on the helmet. Blaine's last power play in the second period looked pretty good, generated some decent looks, and an opportunity here for them to perhaps put this one away. Backdoor pass and spanned on by Sandberg. Good setup, but Sandberg just got it off the heel of her stick to the line, but kept in there by Bleasy. Down low is Jansen circling. Jansen to Sandberg, fires wide. Recovered off the end board by Ron, back down low, and that pass hit the skates of the official. Out to the point, Bleasy through traffic, missed wide. Recovered again by Ron down in the corner, trying to go to the back door. A huge save by Elijah Johnson on the one-timer. Didn't have a ton on it, but was in a perfect spot off the stick of Sandberg. Sandberg now off the boards. Up to Bleasy at the top. Down into the slot. Backhand save and cover by Elijah Johnson. Midway through this power play, and the Bengals are moving the puck well. A couple of shots on the power play so far. Looking for that back door, and that one just hopped over the stick of Sandberg. Didn't get a lot on it. And the rebound chance to flex into the far corner. Face-off win by Brunette, but the puck goes all the way back to the Blaine end. That's where it's recovered by Caleb Bleasy. Near side for Ron. And into the zone comes Britton Fussy. Britton circle behind. That pass skips away from Burnett. She recovers. Her pass deflected away by Delaney Johnson. Delaney Johnson will pitchfork it back into the Bengal end. Bleasy behind her own net. Head for Ron, and now gets it back. And now to Ron. Long pass for Fussy into the zone. Stops up. Trades places with Brunette. Gets it back. She's pressured there by Delaney Johnson. Fussy gets it back. And the power play is over. Back down to Fussy. Centering attempt. Fan on the one-timer again. Recovered by Brunette, far side. Off the blocker of Johnson, and then backhanded in, and she'll cover it up. We'll get a face-off in the Bluebird zone with 2:17 to go in the third period. Elijah Johnson has become increasingly busy over the last period and a half. Defenses were so strong in the first period for both teams, just not allowing really any scoring chances. But the Bengals, since about midway through that second period, have really picked up their play and put some good pressure on the home team's netminder. The only goal on a rebound by Caleb Bleasy, 5:04 of this third period. As Caleb banks it along, Stumo sends it right back out. Bolander fires it right back in deep. Recovered behind the net by Dean and played it back out to center. Abby Peterson sends it back in, bounced back out by the Bengals. Right back in by the Bluebirds. Dean gets it ahead. And now sending it in is Bleasy. She'll get tied up along the end boards by Abby Peterson there to help out Brooke Del Castillo, but Bleasy. And then it's Sandberg who comes in and digs it free out to the point for Ron. Back down into the corner. Bleasy behind. Back to Sandberg. It got off her stick. Bezcalo fires it out as we're into the final minute, and that is icing. Holly Johnson giving a good effort to track it down, but not quite that fast. And we'll have to see when and if the Bluebirds decide to call Elijah Johnson to the bench for the extra skater. They'll take a timeout here to discuss just that. And with how well the Bengals have done on the faceoff, that has got to be step one. Get possession of the puck. And for Coach Geider and his girls, do what you've been doing. Win the draw, keep the pressure in that end. Don't let them get control to the other end. And you'll be able to secure this victory. And talking before the game, Coach Geider was saying, really the second period has been their Achilles heel in a lot of games. They've been right with the Andovers and the Edinas and the Maple Groves through the first period to period and a half. But the second period has always been when they kind of fell apart. And so far tonight, second period was really when they started to gain some momentum. About midway through, they started to increase their speed, started to increase their chances. They've only been able to solve Johnson the one time on a rebound opportunity by Bleasy, but they have been able to create more opportunities and keep the puck at that end of the ice. And when you play in the offensive end, you have a much better chance to win. .2 remaining. Bengals won the draw, but nobody was there, and here comes the Bluebirds. Johnson to the net as Delaney Johnson plays it toward the Bengal net. And Elia went flying in through the gate and wasn't the most graceful bench entry, but there she is. And so there is a six skater out. Face-off win. Terbeza's shot went wide. Johnson tried to play it back out. But now the Bengals will skate up the near boards. This one flipped all the way down, and that'll be icing. .32 seconds left. Not sure why the face-off is on the right side when it was cleared all the way down on the left, but face-off played to the boards. Delaney Johnson gets it back to the point and hops over the stick of Kylie Scott, and the Bluebirds have to regroup at center. Peterson will send it in deep. Hansen to stop it up behind the net. Poking it free is Ron. Scott way down to stop things up. 10 seconds remaining. And the Bluebirds just desperately trying to dig it out so they can get a chance here. Bengals are fine just holding it right where it is, and that's what they're going to do. And they're going to hold on for the 1-0 win. And a great tune-up for the section tournament. Bengals slightly below the Bluebirds on the MinnesotaScores.net website, but that could change after tonight's contest. A big win for the Bengals. Champlin Park Coon Rapids still has Rogers to play on Saturday, and they will hopefully be able to win that contest. The Royals have again knocked the Champlin Park Coon Rapids team out of the playoffs the last two seasons. The first year of the Champlin Park Coon Rapids co-op, it was a relatively large upset. And last year, I believe it was 4 versus 5. Either way, that's a team they'd like to get a little revenge on, and another, again, opportunity for them to see the type of competition they will when they come to section time. And talking to Coach Geider of the Bengals before the game, he said, really, this is a wide open section. 1 through 6 could easily find a way to get through those brackets. And again, he talked about it. It's going to come down to consistency. The team that consistently play their game is the team that's going to be alive at the end. And the Blaine Bengals able to survive here tonight and get a 1-0 win, a 1 goal in the third period. Came at the 5:04 mark. And it is Bleasy from Anderley getting the lone tally to give the Bengals the win. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Here's a look at what we have coming up for you. It's going to be boys basketball on Wednesday against the Blaine Bengals as well. That one is a makeup game from a snow out a week and a half ago or so. Then boys hockey on the 4th at Centennial's new rink. Looking forward to get a chance to see that. And then boys basketball again on the 6th as they take on the Anoka Tornadoes. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including the absent Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying goodnight.